which is multiplied by the number of limbs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 7, 28. The moon lives 28 days. There are 28 ribs in the buffalo. Usually there are 28 eagle feathers in the wapaha, the sacred bonnet of the Lakota people. There are 28 posts in the Sundance Lodge. And most important to us, 28 days separate the sacred cycle of the human female. The human female. The calendar of Mexico, this magnificent piece that will do all sorts of things that I don't have time to tell you about tonight. It will do all sorts of things. Is a feminine calendar. How many days is a pregnancy? All over the world? Let me give it to you. 260 would be a good round a day. When the woman's period is missed, I'm pregnant, she says. Where is she within the sacred calendar? She starts counting the time, the days. Each day, she does a ceremony that regards the child that's inside of her as being a living thing, important to this universe, important, teaching it, telling it, respect the earth, respect the sky. If she does that right, she remains healthy and happy, and the child is born, because that is where we're first formed. The thoughts that's in our mother's mind before we are born is the patterns. And do you notice how many women today are doing just that? Exactly that is what they're doing. And they're doing it without an Aztec calendar. They're doing it because they're remembering their women. If conception took place on the day one read, 260 days later, it will be the day one read. In other words, I was born the day I was conceived. What is that? That is not a solar calendar, a lunar calendar, or a Martian calendar, or a Venetian calendar. That, 260 days, is a human calendar. And with this human calendar, you get more birthdays than you do with the solar calendar. Which means we got Social Security screwed. 1144 for each cycle, 5 past worlds. Imagine, way back then. Let me go through this and then I'll make it easier for you to imagine. 1100, 4 times, till we finally reach the date. This is August 16, 1987, the date, the year date from the beginning. 5,720 years. 5,720. The Jewish calendar, which counts time from the creation of man in the lush Garden of Eden, their calendar will read 5,747 years. The distance, the difference of 27 years in that extremely long period of time would be suggesting that something happened to the human race 5,720 years ago. They got the first time they got hell scared out of them, and it scared them into awakening. And they started to wake up. They were no longer the creatures that they'd been. Now something was happening. They were beginning to realize something. Take Aristotle's source of it will work. The first world. The first world, we became conscious of one sense in the first world. The second world, we got conscious of another one. The third world, we became conscious of a third sense. And finally, as the third world was departing, we became conscious of a fourth sense. But in 843, as the fourth world collapsed And the Mayan civilization crumbled from there all the way through North America, all of the mountain builders into South America. Chaos was everywhere in this country. It wasn't just in Mexico. The old Mayan civilization folded then. It would return, but under a different set of rules. The fifth world was born. The world for earthquake. The first world for jaguar. The second world for wind. The third world for rain. For water. And finally, the fifth world for earthquake. For earthquake was October 9th, just a few days ago. It was Shay's birthday. The lady who spoke here just a while ago. That was for earthquake. It will happen several more times before August 16th. We are in the earthquake cycle right now. It started on the 9th. This isn't, I just didn't make it up, it's in print on it. It will last till October 21st, when we go to Flint Knife. Each world, we've got more census. Finally, we're in the fifth world. And here it is again. Chaos is everywhere. We're all scared. It's all over. Buy 20 pounds of pinto beans. It might be a cold winter. What do we do? How do we get to the sixth world? By using the sixth sense. The sixth sense. We use our head. We use our head. We open up. We pollinate. We pollinate. We do exactly what Jesus Christ said. Be the lilies. Be the flowers of the field. Pollinate each other. Exactly. There is no conflict among the real spirit. There isn't one. In the real spirit of this earth, there is no conflict. When you see the chaos that's all over the world, you know we've got a bunch of jerks as leaders. Everywhere. Everywhere. They're all a bunch of crazy people. What's going to happen to them? Be damned if I know. I doubt if they're going to disappear real fast. But I'm going to start looking more to you and more to you. I'm going to deliberately start planting seeds of corn just for the hell of it and set them up as prayers everywhere. And I'm going to schools and I'm going in and I'm going to start removing fear from the children. I'm going to start telling them that the adults are a bunch of jerks, stupids, and that people who talk like that should be taken out and kicked in the seat of the pants. And I'm going to tell the kids, don't listen to them. And if the kids can't get that way, we'll finish it with a beautiful Indian story. And all of the children will follow me into the shiny mountains up where the grizzly bears live, where it's safe. We'll do a brief break here, about 15 minutes, and then return for questions and answers.
For sale.